بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Our dear students of Tabuk High School, you are welcome to the explanation of your English book, Flying High 2, Students Book, Flying High 2, Students Book. Before we start explanation, my advice to you is to stay healthy, to stay safe, and to stay at home. Flying High 2, Students Book, Unit 7, Lesson 3, page 62-63. At the end of the lesson, students will be able to listen to a conversation, to talk about scenes, and to practice used to and would. Here we have two pictures, a picture of a garden and a picture of tall buildings, high buildings. Listen to two people talking about where they live. Decide which of the areas in the photograph they live in and list the things in the area they mention. Compare your answers in pairs. All students should use the barcode to listen to the conversation between the two people. All students should improve their listening skill. The speakers are talking about the photograph, the area shown on the second photograph on the right. Listen to the conversation again and tick the points about the neighbors you here mentioned. They are talking about the lift sometimes breaks down. Children played in the street when there were houses. You don't meet many people in the apartment building. The old houses had small gardens. The play area at the apartments isn't very nice. These 5 points mentioned in the conversation between the two people. Let's move to grammar. Today we are going to talk about used to and would and the difference between used to and would. Used to, first used to. Used to refers to a habit in the past and a state in the past. It can refer to a habit and a state in the past, but would only refer to a habit, not a state. We cannot use would with a state verb or state of verbs. State verbs or state verbs love, know, won't, remember, have, etc. Verbs without action. Action verbs: play, travel, read, write, draw, drive, etc. Action verbs. Action verbs used with used to and would. But state verbs, we can only use used to. Look at example. Look at examples 1 to 3 from the conversation in exercise 1. Choose the correct words to complete the explanation. Here we use habit. We choose habit. We choose habit. We are still on page 62. Habit. We can replace used to with would because we are talking about habits, habitual verbs or habits, not states. 2. The kids would always play on the streets except in the winter. This refers to a habit. The verb play refers to a habit. This refers to a habit, not a state in the past. We can replace would with used to. We can choose both, used to and would. 3. I used to have a nice garden. Have is a state verb. Have is an state verb. We can use only used to. This refers to a habit or a state? Of course, a state. We cannot replace used to with would. Exercise B, page 62. At my guardian's house, we used to or would eat a lot of cake. We can choose both because the verb eat is an action verb, not a state. We used to or would live in an apartment. The verb live is a state verb. We used to only. 3. When we were children, we used to or would go swimming every weekend. When we were children, we used to or would go swimming. The verb go is a state verb, action verb. So we can use yes, both, used to and would. 4. Grandpa used to or would walk down the street every evening and say hello to everyone. Grandpa used to or would walk down the street every evening and say hello to everyone. Used to. Walk. Walk is an action verb, refers to a habit in the past. A habit, not a state. We can use both used to and would. 5. Did Mrs. Solano used to, would Mrs. Solano belong to the local residents association? Belong to. Belong is a state verb. We use used to, not used to, because we have a did here. Did used to, not used to. Yes. A state verb. We only use used to, not would. Let's move to page 63. Here we have four paragraphs. Paragraph 1. Many people think that Khan al-Khalili. Where is Khan al-Khalili? It is a famous place in, of course, Egypt, in Cairo, as I think. In Cairo, Egypt. 2. Many Many people in this country speak English as a first or second language, so you can practice your speaking skills here. It is home to ancient palaces such as the Taj Mahal. Oh, Taj Mahal. It is in India. Taj Mahal. Yes. 3. In this country, there is a large desert. It is also famous for its petroleum industry. The country has a strong Islamic tradition and is home to many wonderful Islamic sites, such as Al-Masmak Citadel. Here we are talking about Saudi Arabia. 4. This city has such tall buildings that the sun is blocked out from the streets. The Empire State, I think Empire State in the United States of America, New York. Yes. Paragraph 1, Cairo, Egypt. Paragraph 2, India. Paragraph 4, New York, United States of America. And paragraph 3, Saudi Arabia. Imagine you have been asked to write a paragraph for a tourist brochure describing a typical street in your town or city. In pairs, discuss these questions. Who is going to read what you write? Tourists, of course. Tourists. What style of writing are you going to use? An informative style. Yes. Question number 1. C. Question number 2. B. In pairs, students discuss these questions. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening. Stay healthy. Stay at home. Thank you very much.